Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
I'm home, honey.
Yeah, I like your tow truck. I think that's pretty cool. Was that like a 64 or so?
Yeah.
Little cats, C10s. I always love looking at old cars.
Yeah.
Oh, a little Mustang, hatchback. Is it a 5-liter?
Yeah.
So that's a 5-liter with the factory 4-speed. Well, there's a lot of people like these Fox body Mustangs.
Yeah. That's for sure.
What's he asking for the Mustang?
$1,500.
$1,500? Well, you know, considering it's a 5-liter with the factory 4-speed, that's probably a decent price. They're starting to go up in value. Cobra.
Supposed to run and drive.
Basically, it just needs body.
The little Granada there is a factory 302 4-speed as well.
Oh, the Ford Granada down there? That's a 4-speed car.
Yeah, that's the Ford here.
I just kind of walked past it not thinking much of it at all. Because I don't really like the looks. I'm not snobby, but I don't like the looks of most 70s cars. Is it just me? Oh yeah, there it is. 4-speed. So it would have been kind of a hot car at one time.
It's a rear car.
Yeah, Granada with the factory 4-speed.
Didn't make very many of them.
Ooh, I liked how that... You got to kind of lift the door.
Maybe some hinges or something.
Oh, I think so. I'll let you grab that. That's a theft deterrent. If you try and steal the car, your door's gonna fall off along the way. There she is, a rusty Stang. Oh yeah, she's a little crusty. Anything can be fixed if you're motivated enough. Well, I've run into a little issue. My plan was to put it in the garage, close it up, and have it nice and safe and sound. Problem is, they lost the keys along the way. The steering is locked a little bit, so they have some sort of idea on chaining it off to this big old apple tree here, so that it'll somewhat pull it straight, I suppose, and then drag it off the trailer. This ought to be interesting. Ramps are down. The idea is you chain it to a tree, strap it to a tree, and then pull it forward and it drags it off the trailer, and then while it's still somewhat attached, it can pull it off to my parking pad back there. Creative. You do what you gotta do. This is farmer ingenuity in action here. There it goes. Well, step one, it's off. Okay, now it is chained onto the trailer. Watch the whole rear end of this car come flying off. Actually, the other side isn't as rusty as this one. Driver's side always seems to get a little bit more use. We'll do a walk around of the car after we get it in position here. And now they're towing it back. With the wheel cranked a little, it might just straighten itself out somewhat. Well, the wheels turn. At least the brakes aren't all seized up on it. There we go. That's probably even fine right there, guys. That's good. Right on the pad. That's some talented farmer work you guys had going on there. And you might be asking yourself, Alex, what have you done? Why did you buy this rusty, crusty old Mustang when you're not even done your current project car? Well, the reason I bought it is that A, the price was right, and B, it's pretty rare. It's a 5-liter factory 4-speed car, and even though it's in this kind of condition, Fox body Mustangs are very collectible. So it might be something that maybe I don't fix, but I'm sure I'll be able to find somebody who's going to want it. Very desirable car, and you don't want to leave something like that sitting in the field. That said, let's have a look and just see what I bought here, get an idea of the overall condition. On the plus side, it's got all its glass. The suspension is sitting more or less right. It rolled. Not only does it have all its rims, it's got extra rims in the back. So for the side over here, I noticed was missing the center cap. There's an extra center cap inside. So it's got all the factory rims. This side isn't as bad as the other. Definitely looks better when it's not sitting in the field. I said the driver's side always seems worse, but the rocker isn't all falling apart. The Cobra decals on there nice. It obviously requires a full restoration. And I can see the air cleaner inside, but what makes this car extra special isn't the fact that it's a Mustang. I mean, yeah, it's a Mustang, that's cool. It's the fact that it's a Cobra, and it's got a manual transmission. So sporty option, not many cars had. Factory 4-speed car would make this kind of fun to drive around. Ooh, need a little bit of oil on that door. Let's have a look under the hood. The egg crate grill is uncracked. It's got some moss starting on it from sitting outside. That's faded out, but it's not cracked or anything. I'm sure you can get replacement parts for these cars. There's a little Mustang logo right there. Really oxidized. Poor little pony. Let's open the hood. Fake hood scoop. I guess they gave it a little bit of room for the air cleaner maybe, but nope. That's just for looks. Doesn't do anything. Okay, let's have a look. Looks like this hood actually might have come off another vehicle at some point, because it's burgundy on this side. So maybe they had swapped out the hood, but that is the correct 5-liter engine. Does not look like it's run in a while. And I haven't got a wrench on that crank to try and turn it over, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably gonna need a rebuild. Serpentine belt is off, but it's there. I mean, that's the important thing. It's got its engine. It's a factory 5-liter car. We've got, it's not terribly rusty. Like the body mounts aren't rusted out. Sometimes you can get rust around there and that becomes a problem. It's doable. It's definitely doable. It's just whether somebody wants to do it or not. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the inside. Let's go have a look inside the car. This would look really sharp in a nice bright color with a black hood with the, they put the nice decal right on the hood there. They had them in kind of like this electric looking blue or yellow. Silver is pretty subtle. This would have been very similar colors to the pace car, the Indianapolis pace car that they used around that time. Sunroof. Look at this. We've got a little bit of some pinholes and rust starting around there, but repairable. I mean, the fact it has a sunroof is pretty cool. Let's see, the back seat is there. It's just folded flat and doesn't look to be too bad, actually. That seat's probably half decent. We got air cleaner sitting right there. How many miles, or in this case it'd be kilometers, are on it? 12,502. That's probably 112,502, or 212, or 5. Maybe it's gone over 3 or 4 times. I doubt it. It's probably 112,000. I think I think most of this wear that we're seeing, as you look at the door panels, they're fine. I'm not seeing 200,000 miles worth of use out of these door panels. I should say that's kilometers too. I think most of the damage that's occurred here is a result of sitting. It's been sitting and the seat bottom split. There's been mice. I'm not going to get too deep into this car because my allergy is going to get all crazy. It's going to need a headliner in a bad way. But, you know, this could be a really cool car with a little bit of effort. Notice the dashboard isn't cracked at all. The steering wheel is, but there are people, well, you can do one of two things. One, you can put a steering wheel cover on it. That's the cheapest fix. The other, you can pay people to actually, what they do is they Dremel or put a groove, like a V groove around the steering wheel here, and they will fill and repair these damaged cracks and portions. This one would be a little bit trickier to do because it has that wood grain inlay, but that is repairable. Or you just find one off a parts car that's better. Let's see, what other options does this have? Looks like it has, yeah, cruise control. Does it have, looks like it might have, okay, it's got the hazards, does not have telescopic steering, has a sunroof. But I mean, heck, this would be a really fun car. This would be a fun car for my son, Steven, if it was in better shape. I bet he'd love something like that all fixed up driving down the road. Okay, the poor forlorn Mustang is sitting in my little garage here. It is a 5-liter car. It's a factory 5-liter Cobra. That's why I bought it, because it's kind of rare. But I tried putting battery on it last week, went to crank it and found out the engine was stuck. Now, normally that would be a real bother, but I had some of this. PB Blaster. Now, they are not sponsoring me. They should, because I use it often enough. I took out all the spark plugs and I filled the cylinders with PB Blaster a few days ago. And we're going to try and rock this car free by putting it in gear and moving it back and forth a bit and see if we can't get it to unstick. Now, I did take out the spark plugs from the car, and surprisingly, they didn't look all that bad. You know, you'd expect if an engine was blown or shot that the plugs might show it, but not the case. Oh, we ended up buying some new plugs. So if we can get this unstuck, I might just have a chance of getting this thing to start. Essentially what you do is you put it in 4th gear and you kind of rock the car back and forth a little bit. I'm gonna do this for a little while until you feel like the car is moving, or until you can see the crank moving. So I'm gonna continue rocking the car back and forth and see if we can get it unstuck. With any luck, this will work. Okay. It feels like something popped loose in there. Something definitely moved. You could also stick a wrench on the crank, which I think somebody else did because the serpentine belt was taken off. It's in there somewhere. Yeah, it's broken. But here's a big test. Hook up the battery. See what works. Okay. See if we have power first. Okay, got power. We have headlights. Get the key on. And let's give it a try. Okay. Oh, okay. Well. Okay. Well, the good news is it's not stuck. The bad news is I think that broken serpentine belt is rattling around in there. Hopefully that's all that is. I'm going to turn the key off and then we're going to go and clean up under the hood, try putting the plugs in, and see if this thing's going to actually fire. They definitely don't make it easy to get your hand down in here. Cruise control and everything else. You have to be kind of a contortionist to make this work. I just about got it though. Spark plugs are all back in, wires are connected. I didn't put new wires on yet because I didn't know if the engine was gonna be stuck or not. I'm gonna put a little bit of gas in the carb, just a little bit, just enough to see if it'll spark up. And we'll see what happens. Okay. Well, it started, but that sure sounded bad.
And I've got a lot of smoke out of that exhaust. I might give it a little bit more gas and try it again, see what's going on in here. One problem is this fan blade is digging into the shroud, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. But the belt's not hooked up, so that shouldn't be what's making the noise. I'll try that one more time. Believe this was the problem. The broken serpentine belt was smacking everything as it spun around in there. Try it one more time and see if it sounds any better. Okay, let's hope that third time is the charm. Set that here. Turn the old key. There we go, that's better. Actually, now that that serpentine belt isn't whipping around and smacking everything under the engine bay, it sounds pretty decent. I think we have a car that lives, or at least has promise to live. I know the brakes probably need to be done, but this car might actually be a driver before too long. Well, that's it, a busy day today. Got an update on my Rolls Royce, which is coming along fine. Drove my old Buick around, got the Mustang started. Just generally a good car day, and plus on top of that, I think I finally found a station wagon that's gonna work for me and the shop. So stay tuned for more episodes, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and yeah, more updates coming soon. Bye for now.